This is great. This is what it's all about. Let's kill Aspirant. Let's take our lands. And now, because Yasharn is in play, it basically gives Terror of the Peaks hexproof until Yasharn's removed because of the ability. And hey everybody, welcome back, and thanks for taking the time to watch Hello Good Game. Today we've done it. We've done something 100% new and original. Yasharn the Terror, combining Yasharn Implacable Earth with Terror of the Peaks, giving it hexproof through Yasharn, which is absolutely crazy. And we've got some ramp to get us there and some Scute Swarm to be obnoxious on the back end. I'm playing today within the plate queue. I do take a break from Mythic as I don't want to tank my rank too badly testing these jank decks, but we rock out with a 78% win rate today, going 11-3. So I actually think that I might take this deck into Mythic, test it out, and even potentially make a sideboard for it for traditional. So you can see our win rate here. You can see our matches if you're really interested in it. Let's get into the game here, and we can see that we are sitting at about 94% within Mythic, looking to get that top 1500 in the following days. Opening up our deck list into Yasharn the Terror, and we talked about Yasharn Implacable Earth. Let's go over it visually here. You can see that it's a 4-drop, a 4/4, and when it enters the battlefield, search your library for a basic forest and a basic plains card. Reveal those cards, put them into your hand, and then shuffle your library. Players can't pay life or sacrifice permanents to cast spells or activate abilities. This is a fact that I was so excited when I first seen it. I was like, screw you, Mayhem Devil. Like, I hated Rakdos Sacrifice so much. Priest of the Forgotten Gods, I was really upset with as well. And then Rotation Hit, and then right after Rotation Hit, they gave you a direct answer for that deck. So I was super psyched to see this card, but then when the new meta unfolded, it didn't really have a place. There wasn't so many sacrifice decks, and you know, Yasharn Implacable Earth wasn't really relevant until one day we are playing with it just for the ramp. The ramp is great, and we come across Terror of the Peaks, a 5/4 with flying. Spells your opponents cast that target Terror of the Peaks cost an additional 3 life to cast. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, Terror of the Peaks deals damage equal to that creature's power to any target. The really cool thing about Terror of the Peaks is it's a 5/4 with evasion through flying. So it's getting those consistent attacks in, and then whenever you play anything on top of it, you're dealing direct damage either to their creatures to get them off the field, like a questing beast or something, you know, maybe something with reach as well, or you're just dealing that damage right into the henhouse and going big. Better yet, this is a stackable ability. It's a non-legendary permanent, so you can play multiple terrors on top of each other and stack those triggers, which is really cool. Your opponents, to target it, have to pay 3 life. So once it enters the battlefield and they Heartless Act it or something, that's going to cost them 3 life to cast, and they will be unable to cast it again if we have Yasharn Implacable Earth in play. So that's the main combo within the deck. Once you get there, it's very hard to deal with because typically you want to deal with Terror of the Peaks immediately. But if you're forced to wait a turn or two and you have to put your available removal into Yasharn first, if you don't have an extinction event or a Shatter the Sky, some form of reset button, then you know you're forced to spend what remaining removal you have on Yasharn, and you better hope that you have multiple copies so you can do one on Yasharn, one on Terror. And it should give you that wiggle room to leave Terror on the field, you know, maybe play another Terror, get your Scute Swarms to trigger. Stuff like this, and then the rest of the deck basically just backs that up. One of my favorite cards within Selesnya right now is Murasa Rootgrazer. This is a 2/3 with Vigilance. We can tap it to either put a basic land card from our hand into the battlefield or to return a basic land card from the battlefield to our hand. This will make our land drops really consistent. So a couple things that we can do here is we can tap a land for mana, tap our Rootgrazer, put the mana back to our hand, then replay the land if we didn't pick up a land drop that turn, thereby allowing us to basically continue our curve uncontended, which is really, really nice. We can also, you know, just play additional lands from our hand, which is also very, very good because we looked at Yasharn already, and when it enters the battlefield, we actually draw 2 land into our hand. And what better way to utilize those lands than to be putting them into the battlefield 2 at a time via the Rootgrazer. The Rootgrazer is also great because you could do all of these things after it's attacked and then after it's defended before your opponent's end step. Of course, you know, if you need the mana right now, like you're tapping the mana, bouncing it, and then replaying it, you're going to be doing that sorcery speed on your main phase, but that's a rare occasion. That's basically all of the landfall shenanigans. You know, of course, we do also have the Scute Swarm, a 1/1. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, create a 1/1 green insect creature token. If you control 6 or more lands, create a token that's a copy of Scute Swarm. So, you know, try to stay away from playing this before your 6th land. Typically, you'll play it on your 5th land, right, on your 2nd main phase. So your opponent gets 1 swing at it, and if they don't, you're playing. Or if you don't have any spells to spend your mana on for your 6th turn, then typically you will just hold Scute Swarm in your hand. You know, it's your 6th turn, or you're about to play your 6th land, you play the Swarm and then play the land immediately on top of it, thereby triggering it. But again, sometimes you have other cards like Turntimber Symbiosis for 7 that you want to cast. Instead, you want to get it out a little bit earlier. Maybe you've been able to ramp past that. So it depends what you want to do with your mana on turn 6 or turn 7 when you're about to drop your Scute Swarm and to have it multiply. So sometimes I do this, you know, once I've got 5 lands in play, and I let my opponents have a swing at it. If I have, you know, something expensive like the Symbiosis, like Terror of the Peaks, that I want to drop on turn 6 or the next turn, right? But then again, if I don't have those in my hand, it's just the Swarm, then I'll wait until it is my turn. I'll play the creature and then the land right on top of it. The only other landfall within the deck is Lotus Cobra, and this is just a form of ramp. A 2/1, and when a land enters the battlefield under your control, create 1 mana of any color, which is really nice. And then we also have other forms of ramp that don't involve a landfall, like Gilded Goose, a 0/2 with flying. When it enters the battlefield, create a food token. We can pay 2, tap it to create a food token, you know, at instant speed, which is pretty cool. And then we can also tap it to sacrifice a food token, adding 1 mana of any color. And you know, the main goal here is to ramp into Yasharn as early as you can, get Terror of the Peaks out as early as you can, and then, you know, basically just ramp out Scute Swarm. And it's like a double-edged sword, right? Typically, the Scute Swarm is enough to win games because you can mutate onto it with the Migratory Greathorn, which I guess is a form of ramp that we've not talked about yet. A 3/4 with mutate for 3. Whenever this creature mutates, search your library for a basic land card, put it into the battlefield tapped, then shuffle your library. You know, when you do mutate onto the Scute Swarm, it will keep the ability of the Scute Swarm. So you'll have a 3/4 Scute Swarm that copies itself into more 3/4 Scute Swarms. So that's the ideal playline there. And then, you know, those 3/4 Scute Swarms will trigger your Terror of the Peaks, dealing, you know, an unlimited amount of damage to your opponent, basically. Bronzehide Lion, this is a great placeholder. The Indestructible is quite nice as well because, you know, it's on the field. When it dies, the Indestructible goes to another creature. This can go to a Gilded Goose. It can also go to a Scute Swarm. And then when we mutate onto the Scute Swarm, at which point it'll basically be too late for our opponent's removal. But they do have the chance to do it when it's on the stack. And if we had a Bronzehide Lion die beforehand while it's on the stack, then we've got, you know, the ability to give it Indestructible once they try to remove it, right? So Bronzehide Lion is really nice. It's a 3/3 body, good attacker, good defender. Plus it has the Indestructible on itself if you want. And then when it dies, most importantly, you can put that Indestructible on something else that's important to you. The only thing we've not talked about here is Nahiri's Lithoforming. This is just an extra little bit of sauce in the deck. There's only 1 copy, and it will basically take you from top deck to full power again. Sorcery speed for 2+ X, sacrificing X lands. For each land sacrificed this way, draw a card. You may play X additional lands this turns, and they enter the battlefield tapped. So, you know, you get to a point where you've got 8-10 lands in the battlefield. You can sack 7 of them, draw 7 cards, replay 3 or 4 that you redrew into the battlefield, and go again. This is best performed when you have Lotus Cobra in play, because when the lands enter the battlefield tapped, they'll still trigger Lotus Cobra, and then you can utilize those other cards that you drew from Nahiri's Lithoforming that were not lands. Of course, the Symbiosis typically just pulls your Scute Swarm, making it a 4/4, which is pretty cool. And you know, if not, you can play that as the land. We are playing best of 1 today, so there's no sideboard. We have 5 plains, 3 mountains, 7 forests, 3 Cragcrown and Timbercrown Pathways, 2 Needleverge and Pillarverge Pathways, and of course 2 Branchloft and Boulderloft Pathways, followed up by 4 Fabled Passages. We tried to not use a lot of pathways within the deck because of the Rootgrazer's basic ability. You may put a basic land, you may return target basic land. You know, obviously the pathways and the Fabled Passages are not basic lands, so the more basic lands you can have in the deck, the better. You basically just focus on playing Selesnya, and either your Gilded Goose makes the red source for your Terror of the Peaks, or your Lotus Cobra makes the red source for Terror of the Peaks, or you Fabled Passage for red sources making Terror of the Peaks. And you should also have the Cragcrown and Needleverge pathways, which you can kind of distinguish which ones you want to play there first. But don't focus on red. It's a Selesnya deck with a splash of red, and it's very easy to you know, play a pathway and grab your second mountain with your passage, or you know, the Greathorn can pull a mountain as well, right? So it shouldn't be that hard. The land's pretty friendly, and we definitely have enough basic lands in there for the Rootgrazer to take advantage and ramp ahead of your opponents. So with that all out of the way, I hope you guys enjoyed this deck tech, and I hope you enjoy the deck. This is what Magic is all about for me, finding these new card synergies that no one else has been focusing on, and then trying to build around it to make it as competitive as we can. Again, we've got a 78% win rate, going 11-3. Deck list in the description below. Today we're using Magic the Gathering Arena Assistant, the best assistant for Magic the Gathering Arena. If you're playing on a Windows machine, you need to download this. It's 100% free. That's the Wolf Watch in the description. Link in the description below. I cannot even speak. We've been going too long. And it's got everything that you're going to want. Deck stats, write-ups, videos, metagame analysis, and overview. So much that I can make a whole video on it. So check it out. That's available for free. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share the channel to a friend, and jump in our Discord for our 500,000 gem giveaway, free cash prize monthly tournaments, and so much more. So again, I thank you for your time and attention. If you want to support financially, you can do so on Twitch, Patreon, YouTube, and our Amazon link. Take care, enjoy the video, and we'll talk to you soon with our closing thoughts. We have one goal, and one goal only, and it is a hexproof Terror of the Peaks. We've got this. Oh, you know we're going to drop that passage on top of the snake to get Terror out early. Or we just, on our 3-drop, play both our 2-drops, which is relevant. And then on 4-drop, we get to 5 anyways. Yeah. Clerics. That means there's removal, and that makes me sad. Ooh. Greathorn is fun. The passage, I guess, can come in as a mountain, so this can come in as a plains. I definitely want to make sure that we hit Terror, though. And I might even just Greathorn. No, it won't even survive. Okay. Never mind. So this is a bummer. Maybe we can survive and, you know, double drop a land next turn. They do have removal, so if we can get a Yasharn. Oh, this is aggro town, though. This isn't going to work out for us. Look how big this thing is already. Goes up by 2 more. Okay, they're going to spread the threat. No blocks. Nice. That's really good. This might take us a while to get our Hexproof Terror. It's more of a theory video than a competitive deck. That's why we're, you know, down in the gully here. We're still dead is the thing. Like, even if we do go straight into our Terror. We have Vigilance, so we can attack. Just trying to play it out, you know, effectively, efficiently. Even though, you know, the tipping point has passed. The thing is, we can basically flash a plains in to activate our Bronzehide Lion for indestructible, and that's cool. We're still taking an ungodly amount of damage, though. That's the only play I wanted to make. We were a little slow against this aggro style deck, and I guess we're just being roped here, so we'll give them a nice, and that's our first loss, taking us down to 75% win rate with the deck. Well, this is super awkward, but I think we can still keep it. We're gonna need that secondary mountain. Oh, there we go. Hopefully we can double drop land next turn if this Rootgrazer survives. Looks like we'll get some damage in as well. Take the hit, play our lion, end our turn. We'll push our pathway in with the grazer. Basic land from your hand. Okay. That sucks. We need to maybe adjust our land a little bit. That's never been a problem until right now. Man, that's upsetting. Let's take our hit. We can still play Terror, which is good, but it's just like a shock and then upsetting because I didn't actually think of that. And our force is basic here, right? At least. Don't worry, guys. In the final list, everything's going to be adjusted perfectly. You know, obviously the pathways are great, but you can see the downfall of them right there. So it's still a ramped Terror, which is pretty cool. Nice. That's actually one thing I did not expect. Good for them. Honestly. They snare our lion. You dog. We'll push those forests in again. Not that we really need it. Titanic growth. Welcome to the play queue. Take our turn. So this is great. This is exactly what we wanted. We've just achieved a hexproof Terror of the Peaks if this hits. Oh, bastard. They keep us from it. You know, we're gonna keep playing until we get it. It's there because to target Terror, you have to pay life, and you just can't do that with Yasharn in play. So it's really cool. Let's end our turn. We'll thin our library. Let's take a mountain. Obviously Yasharn pulls forests and plains, so we'll leave those in deck. We do have a winning timer, I believe. This has to be countered. That's lethal. Interesting. They're gonna bounce the other terror. Or they play it... Oh, because they did not mutate. A little bit of a misplay there, but they almost had us, and, you know, we're grabbing that win rate, even though, you know, it's not working out to be the greatest matches, but they're matches. Pretty cool hand if our Lotus Cobras can survive. Seems like we're pulling this Rootgrazer a lot, which I'm actually a big fan of. There's probably just removal here. But we have to go for it. How can you not? Ooh. Interesting. Alright, we can go up to 3. So we want 1 green for the goose and 1 plains. And then we'll throw our razor out. And the goose. We can hit for 2. A Yasharn off the top would be ideal. We're looking at a field wipe, probably. Oh ho! Well, I mean, it's kind of there. Well, it is there. If we can, maybe pull a Cobra for some Ramp City, that could be fun. Oh, well, I mean, we're gonna need more than a little ramp now, I guess. Cry. Let's pretend we're a Gruul deck. Ooh. Milleroni. That's never good. They're really thinking on their discard here from Teferi's Tutelage. When it enters the battlefield, they get to draw, but they do also discard. And whenever they do draw, we have to mill too, so... Oh, there's our Cobra! Nice, you dog. Alright guys, if your ramp is more than 45 degrees, you'll just end up rolling back. Oh my gosh, I don't know why that gets me so much. We got a crab in play as well. Whatever, man. Oh, that needed to be a mountain. Shit! We fucked our land up. We need to pull another mountain for terror now. God damn it. Oh well. I mean, it does take them out of our deck, so the chance to draw the correct land goes up. Oh, and they milled 2 more, so that's fine. And another 2. I imagine they just have straight removal, kind of like Heartless Act there. Oh, yeah, attack with crab. Flexing. I'm gonna pull the removal. or their counter, right? Just make them do something. The Symbiote is a playable card now. Yeah, okay, cool. It's got to go at a certain point, right? Mill. We are actually not that strong against mill decks. These are big mills now. 4 cards here. Yikes. As long as we pull a red source. That's alright. I mean, we'll use our Symbiosis next turn. I guess pulling another Scute Swarm. If we even get there. They're at 20 life still. Maybe they top deck nothing. If they top deck removal, that'd be good for us. We have 2 mountains in there still. There it is. Let's start laying in some damage, see if we can win the race. On 14. 10 after this. We could top deck a Yasharn. There's a 20% chance we draw a Yasharn. Oh, you dog. They choose odd. No, they choose Eve. Okay, yeah, odd, for sure. For a second, when the line moved over, I was like, that can't be right. Dang it. That's clutch. And we did get our Yasharn. I hate this guy. I don't want to draw any cards, so Yasharn. Yeah, it's not you may, it's just you do. Nice game. Alright. Cool stuff. You know, we're still sitting fairly good, and that was close. That extinction event saved them. Well, we don't really have what we want, but at the end of the day, we have a couple pieces. Which we can't. Oh, we can. Goose in play. Hopefully that Cobra can survive. No, no way. Yeah. Let's get our Rootgrazer in play. And then we can, if we do pull a red source, specifically a basic red land source, we can bounce it, like we can tap it. And I'm going to pull one with this, so we know we'll have one. Right? So we have 3, 4, 5 total. I think we just go for it right now, don't we? Right, sack our food. Not so bad. That's a turn 3 terror. So it's not what we wanted to do, but it's still something cool. I'm surprised they don't just remove it immediately. No blocks. Okay. Oh, we get our Yasharn, but we can't play it. Oh, we can. The same way we just did. This is great. This is what it's all about. Let's kill Aspirant. Let's take our lands. And now, because Yasharn is in play, it basically gives Terror of the Peaks hexproof until Yasharn's removed because of the ability. And that's a lot of fun, because to target it, they have to pay 3 life, and they can't do that. So that's a fun thing that we got it, finally. Let's keep playing. I mean, 75% win rate is not bad. We have our Lions, which are, you know, actually just relatively decent value. Ooh, 2 Yasharns. So hopefully they go for the removal on our Yasharn, and we can play the second. Even though we have most of our planes and force to go here. I guess we still have 5 and 4 in the deck. So the Passage definitely is playing a mountain. Mono white. Gross. The Exile is going to annoy us until we can get our Hexproof Terror out. Ooh. Right, if we can pick up that second mountain and play Yasharn turn 4, Terror turn 5, that's going to be spicy. And the Bronzehide Lion is big enough that, you know, you do kind of address it like that. Ugh. Nah, this is Kool-Aid. You want first aid. We just need that second red source. Ooh, Archon's nasty. There it is. There it is. I'm gonna keep the Passage in case we get a Scute. Taking our lands. No attacks. They do have the Archon in the air with flying, but 2 tears should make relatively quick work of that. What? Nice. Never mind. That's really good. You dog. Good game. Wow. That's ridiculous. That's absolutely brutal. Well, that's not gonna work. Alright, I did not see that last one coming. This should be much friendlier. We want this to be the mountain. Three Cobras? I don't even know what you would use that kind of mana on. No blocks. Hopefully we pull a Yasharn or a Terror. Ooh, they're going wide. If anything, they might scoop just because we have so many Cobras, right? Just taking it down to 16. They're definitely going very wide. A little bit frightening. No attacks. End turn. I mean, if we pull a Terror, the Cobras are still great. There's lots of cool things we could get. They're down to 2 cards in hand. We have the blocker now within the Grazer. Flying. That's fine. Down to 11. This thing's got flying. That's gross. Giant killer, whatever. And they're out. There's like... I can't deal with that. I think we would have slowly grinded them out because we could get our Scute. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is 5. This is 6, right? So, you know, we would have come back. I like this. I was just thinking, why haven't we dropped our Greathorn yet? We've got lots of things to put it on. The Lion, the Cobra, the Rootgrazer, even the Gilded Goose. I guess the question is, do we want to go for it right now, or do we want to wait? I think we go right now, even though it taps it. We pull a mountain. Probably just cast the Symbiosis. We need to just look out for Forsaken Monument. They're tapping our Greathorn, which is not really of any consequence. Let's just get Yasharn in play. Land is never an issue here, really. Passage for our mountain. That puts us at 5. It's not great. Probably play the Goose and get into a Turntimber. Well, I mean, maybe I won't. It would be cool to keep the passage for the Scute. And we don't necessarily need it yet. Right? Let's take our hit. Forsaken Monument gonna come down on top of our heads here. I do not doubt that. Should we play it now so we can still... I'm gonna play it now because we're at 5. You know, we played a 6, and we passage on that 6, which is great, and then we're going to use our Symbiosis. Or do I use the Forest and go for our Symbiosis on another Scute Swarm? Probably. Keeping the Fabled Passage for one more turn. They are tapping that mana, that's for sure. There's the Monument coming down like we expected. And the supplies. Gain 2 life, draw a card. It's awesome! Well, that's just an easy decision. Over top. Get that mountain like we wanted. Now we passage, and we got the Greathorn City going. Which is gonna be a good game. Unless they can Ugin. Right? That's the only way they'll win this, is if there's an Ugin. Ugin! Blue Eyes White Ugin? Saves the day. That's fine with us. 6/6, sure. Another 6/6. That life is the most annoying part here. We're okay though. We're gonna go wide enough that it doesn't matter. And that's just a good game right here. Decent. I want to terror. We might even take this into Mythic at a certain point. It's performing so much better than I thought it would. This is such a sloppy hand, but it has everything we want. I kind of want to keep the passage and play the Goose. Because what if we drew a land to play the Cobra and the passage on top? Right? That's so much fun. This is probably the wrong play. It's definitely the greedy play. We should have went in with our passage first. But, let's try to top deck a land. They're playing slow, so we're forgiven if we don't. And we don't. Let's just go for it. And then we can bounce these lands on top of the Cobra with the Rootgrazer, right? They're playing slow again as well. Good news. Oof, they take the Cobra though. Ouch. Right as we pull the payoff spell. We had to hit for 2. You know, we can also make that food to use for a mana next turn. And that will allow us to drop our Terror or Yasharn, either. Both are great. Damn it. Never mind. Let's take a red source. I think we just use our Yasharn and keep ramping ahead of them. Right, now we can Greathorn for the secondary mountain for Terror. I think they're top decking not what they need. Feels kind of bad, but at the same time, a win's a win's a win. There's our mountain. We still get a decent hit in. Yasharn's still in play, so Terror will have Hexproof. Never mind. Man, they do not like Yasharn. They're keeping up to the removal really well, considering their land issue. I'm gonna keep the Symbiosis on deck. They have to nuke Terror here. Nope. That's not good. The zombie's fine, but it's not enough. One, two, three, four, five, six. Let's just be formal. Formal. What a great word. I mean, that's game. I want to cast the Symbiosis, see what we can pull. Alright, get our Scute Swarm going. The Nighthawk Scavenger. Nice. Okay. I couldn't be happier whenever I see these three cards in our opening hand. We even have passages. So we're gonna let it rip. We have to play a passage first, sadly, for a forest. Activating our Cobra. Go ahead. Nice. Then the car is restless, my friend. Let's get a move on. Hello, are you there? They're here now. Perfect. Uno Foristo. And we top deck one. It always happens like that. These are both of our red sources. We had a white source here. Yasharn in play. Please and thank you. We'll take our land. Oh my god, curving out has never been so easy. I'm not gonna risk the Cobra. Let's just leave it. Passage for a red source. And we play Terror, and that's just kind of how that is gonna go. That's an absolute perfect play line. Cobra into a turn 3 Yasharn, into a turn 4 Terror with Hexproof. Just so good. Alright, weird looking hand. Typically, Lithoforming is just not even needed in the deck, but a little bit of extra sauce if you want to get there, right? Let's get after it. Goose boys! Honk honk. I'm gonna play it slow and try to keep this food chillin'. And that way we can mutate right onto the goose. Bloodchief's Thirst on the line? I don't doubt it. So it's good for us to know that they're sitting on a Blood Chief's Thirst if they don't use it. Alright, we're hooking our Goose up with the enchant. Alright. I like how the mutate crystal is like got a mask over it, just it's like transparent. So we do have, I guess, indestructible on the Greathorn, which might just be good to keep. Let's just hold the Lithoforming. You know, it's a lot better if we can get a Scute in play or something. And I'll just keep the Indestructible on the Greathorn. Because it has the Indestructible ability, I'm going to mutate onto it for the double land, and that's going to help the Lithoforming out. Right, we can still pop Indestructible on it. Okay. Countering the spell is fine. They're gaining life. Not really great for us. Not the worst thing. Our turn. That's not good either. Let's take our hit. Gives us 7. We could sack 5 lands, draw 5 cards. Even 3, and then we keep. Let's do it next turn. They're looking for some form of exile. Them countering Lithoforming might not be good. Right? We don't want that to be countered. So at a certain point, we're better off just to hold up and try to edge them out slowly and surely. And then if they do deal with the Greathorn, they shouldn't have so much mana open to counter our Lithoforming, I'm hoping. Just trying to grind it out. Ooh. Serpent. Interesting. I mean, all it takes is a, you know, terror to get us rolling. Sacrifice a swamp, gain 1 life, draw a card. That's always good. This is going to be a 3-land pull here, making our Lithoforming even more relevant. Just countering it. Take our hit. Did they have another counterspell in there? Let's end our turn. I guess we thin our library. We pulled so many lands. Though there shouldn't be too many in there. I guess pulling one more will only help. Oh. Okay, so that's that problem that we were thinking of earlier. That's gonna not kill their serpent though, because it's such a high mana cost. It's annoying, and I hate it. Okay. Grab a red source here. Yep.
You are too dangerous to roam free.
Go ahead and tap your serpent, bruh. Oh, I thought that's the sack. One more green. We've got one green not selected. One red, one... Okay, two whites not selected. There we go. Maybe we should save those passages for the Scute Swarm. Which Ugin can still easily minus on. We have one mountain we can pull. We can play the Terror. Ugin can minus on it. Ooh, we get so close. We get so close. Give him the hello, good game. That's a 6-drop is the annoying thing, so it can still just -5 on us. I mean, we have it. We're there. We just got Ugin. They need to sack their Ugin. They can gain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 life, potentially, through the Serpent. Alright, Murderous Rider wins the game. They deal 2 damage to themselves. I'm not 100% sure they realized that. And they also took 3 damage from Terror for a 5 of total. The hello, good game. It just wins matches, I'm telling you guys. All I have to say is wow. That's absolutely incredible. How did everybody let this slip? I get that Terror is a double red drop, so the mana is iffy, but there's just so many ways to make mana work, like the Gilded Goose, Lotus Cobra, Greathorn, and you know, basically all those cards already fit within the Terror Scute Swarm deck that we already had. So it's like, A, how do you not want to ramp into more lands to play on top of your Scute Swarm? B, how do you not want to give Terror of the Peaks hexproof, right? And yeah, it's just absolutely lovely. Good stuff. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm going to keep working with this deck and fine-tuning it, and hopefully get the courage to take it into Mythic rank without, losing too many percentages. So I really appreciate your time and attention. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share the channel out to a friend, and of course, support financially if you can afford to do so, because times is tough. COVID days, right? Twitch, Patreon, YouTube, Amazon link. We're going to have new giveaways every 10,000 subs, and of course, we're still running the old giveaways, 500k gems, free cash prize monthly tournaments, all that jazz. So jump into the community, don't miss out. Download the Overwolf link, which takes you to the Magic the Gathering Arena Assistant, all that jazz. And we'll see you soon with another video. Take care, and many magical blessings to you.